So you're thinking about moving to Pueblo? Well, I've got you covered. I'm gonna take you through some neighborhoods. We're gonna check out a few different price point of properties so that you can decide what might work best for your budget. But because there is so much more to Pueblo than just the neighborhoods, right now I'm standing just south of the historic downtown area in a place called the Riverwalk. So you can see behind me, there's this lovely man-made riverwalk that we have here. It's got space for eating picnics, maybe just coming and chilling with some friends during, the warmer months. Behind me over here, we have an ale house just off to the side. And then in this area back here is gonna be more of like the downtown area. So great area. Pueblo is really divided up into like 4 different main sections. And then we've got a newer development west of Pueblo called Pueblo West. So we have the sort of north side of town, the south side of town, we have the east side of town and the west side of town. And then you have Pueblo West, which is all the way more further west towards the mountains. It's only about 20 minutes outside the city, but if you're a local here, that feels like it's far away. So this is the downtown area. This is gonna be just under 5 miles to get to the neighborhood that we're gonna go to. So we're gonna check out a neighborhood called Domega Homes here on the south side, and we're gonna look at 3 different properties so you can see what the price points are and what you get for your bucks. So let's head over there. If this is your first time on the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Pueblo, Colorado, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification below for notifications so that you can stay up to date on the current market here in Pueblo. I'm Krista, and I am, albeit an off and on native, I'm a native and I grew up here in Pueblo, so I know all there is to know to show you guys the best kept secrets, the best kept neighborhoods, and also go through some pros and cons. So that's what we're gonna do on this channel. I love helping people make a smooth move to the area. So whether it's now, in 9 days, 90 days, make sure to get our contact information from that description box, reach out, and we look forward to helping you make a smooth move to Pueblo. All right, guys, so we are in Domega Homes here, Pueblo on the south side. You're gonna notice something behind me. If you take a look at these homes, we're gonna have tile roofs, so that's something I'm gonna bring up here in a second. What I also wanna just note about this particular development is the first property that we're gonna see is gonna be in the $300,000 range. We are gonna move on to a property that's in the mid price range, and then your final property is gonna be up in that upwards of $500,000. So one of the things that I would like to point out is there are a couple different areas of Domega that are, one is earlier development, one is later development. This particular home that we're gonna stand in front of here in just one second is going to be on the earlier side of the development, which you can tell because of the trees. The trees are always a good giveaway. Are they developed? Are they still babies? Are they still new? So you can tell by these trees that this is a little bit earlier side of development. So this particular home here at 4606 Solar Drive here on the south side of Pueblo, 81005 is the zip. It was built in 2001. It is a 3-bed, 2-bath. You're coming in right around 1,300 square feet. So the price point is $334,900, which works out to about $250 per square foot. So this home right here, I'll back up here so you can see it just a little bit better. It is, and let's hope I don't trip because I'm walking backwards. But it is going to be a 2-car garage. And as you can see, one of the things about this neighborhood is really nice wide open streets. So that is something to appreciate. The tile roofs are going to be awesome because they are actually rated for numerous different inclement weathers, including hail, fire, wind. So that is something to think about when you're going to buy a home, is that adds value to the resale. So we're gonna move on to another property here, and you are gonna get to see different areas. There is a park area in this particular development that is really great for kids and families. And the further west you go, right back here where all the clouds are, you're actually gonna have, on a clear day, really nice views of the mountains. So let's get a little bit closer and I can show you what I'm talking about, and we'll look at a mid-priced home. All right, so here we are in a little bit later part of the development, and This house is going to be right in the mid-range. So this home is going to be $444,000. And just so you can see what it gets you, I'll show you here in a second. It was built in 2019. With that price point at 1,500 square feet, you're looking at around $290 per square foot. So it is a little bit larger of a home than our first one. And it is going to be, like I said, in the later part of development, which basically means that you're going to have obviously newer trees. You can see those behind me, a little bit newer construction. And this is the home right here. This particular home here is going to be on Peachcrest, and it sits right on the corner. See if I can get the right angle for you guys. There you go, sits right on the corner here. So that is going to be just so you can see something that's in the $444,000 price range. But again, you are going to have a little bit more square footage than that first one. You're going to be in the newer part of the development. And let me show you one of my favorite things. We've already talked about the tile roofs, that they are, you know, really great for resale. They do add value to the home because they withstand so much. One of the things that the builders really prides themselves on is having more of a green type approach to their building with the appliances that they use. So that is also a great resale value point. Behind me, and it's actually a little bit clearer over here, as you can see the front range and the mountains. So we don't get a ton of great mountain views here, just based on where you're at. You know, you could be really far away from them, but this is one of the developments, one of the rare developments, I feel like, that you will see the Front Range Mountains. As you can see, it's blocked off behind me because there's potential future development, although that is undeveloped land at this time. So you do have really great views of the mountains behind you. So that is the west area. And let me just tell you, one of the great things that's within that 5-mile radius of here is our reservoir. So our reservoir is so great. It actually is a place that people from Denver travel to, Northern Colorado. Everybody comes down to our reservoir. It's one of the best in the state. Lots of room, and we love to take our boats and our paddle boards and just have a good time in the spring and in the summer. So this is that newer part of the development. And again, this one's gonna be $444,000 for a 3-bed, 2-bath. So this is gonna be what this looks like. And we will head to the next one where you're gonna see a home that is an upwards of $500,000, a little bit closer to almost $600,000. So we're gonna head over there and see what that looks like. Coming up on our last home here in Domega that I wanted to show you is going to be a little bit more on that higher price point. So once again, if you just see behind me, you can see how nice the streets are. They're very clean, they're very wide. So this, if you're looking for a really beautiful manicured home, this is going to be more up in the price of $597,500. It was built in 2020. With that price point and a square footage of 2,109, you're going to be looking at about $283 per square foot. This is a really beautiful home. It's manicured very nicely. This one does have a 3-car garage. So as you can see, you're going to be getting a bigger garage, as well as more square footage. Again, still have the tile roofs, so that you're still going to be getting with this whole entire development, because that is something that is standard amongst all these homes. So this one is a little bit closer to the Front Range. You're going to be closer to that western mountain area that we love so much. And yeah, it's a little bit, you can see it's a little bit bigger of a home. You're definitely going to get more square footage. You have that larger garage, and it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and it was built in 2020. So again, on the newer side of the development. So you're going to have those trees that are less developed back here because it is a newer developed area. And we're going to take you around. We're going to show you a little bit more here, if you stick with us, just of the park area, just kind of driving through this neighborhood. So this is that park I was telling you about. This is going to be right at the center of the development of the community. This is what it looks like. There is a lot of space for just, you want to walk your dog, or if you want to go back here, there is some equipment for the little ones. And then over in that area that you're looking at there, that's kind of where we started, which as you go up this street, the houses tend to get more in like the earlier stages of development, whereas the street that we were just on is a little bit more in that newer / later part of development. So this is going to be a nice little thing that you can have. Lots of people like to walk in here. You can get some exercise in the mornings. And then all the streets, one of the things I love about this community is all the streets are really well interconnected. And what I mean by that is you can pretty much get to anywhere really easily. So if you look over here, you're gonna see, you know, one street, and then you come up here and not too far is the next street. And then you can pretty much connect up to any of these streets that connect back to the main road. So this would be going west towards the house that we were last on. And as you can see, again, great views of the mountains. It is a little bit, it's springtime here in Pueblo. And the nice thing about Pueblo is we have some of the warmest temperatures in Colorado. I always joke and say that we're called mini Arizona back here. But yeah, we have some of the nicest temperatures, and right now it just happens to be one of those spring days that there's a storm moving in, so it's a little bit more cloudy, but you still get that view of the mountains. This is actually the first street that we started on in this newer development, so this would be the second property that you saw right here on the corner. And then just around the corner from this is that larger property with the 3-car garage that was in upwards of, you know, almost $600,000. So you can see a nice view of the streets here. You can see that everything's very clean. There's not a bunch of people just hanging out on the streets with their cars. It's newer. It's got great views. The park is nearby, just 1 block away. And this would be the house that we just saw. So this gives you an idea of this area and how awesome it is. And then here is just more proof that you're right by those mountains. So whether you're looking to move in the next 9 days or 90 days here to Pueblo, I would love to help you. Please feel free to reach out to myself and my team. We would love to be a resource for you. But yeah, we look forward to hearing from you, and maybe we'll see you around Pueblo.